Lots of silly Lord of the Rings memes that we love. Thank you to everyone who makes them. Endless entertainment.
So 22 lead cast members,
Yes.
multiple storylines, following in the footsteps of a major film franchise. You guys must love stress and pressure. Are you feeling the stress? Do you feel like the show is going to live up to fans' expectations?
Yeah, there is stress and pressure, but also a huge amount of excitement. And I think it's not just 22 cast, which is a lovely kind of huge ensemble to be part of, but it's also over 2,000 crew members. So it's a big gang of us doing this. So I feel there's lots of us holding each other's hands. And it's been a long time coming. We're ready and excited for it to be seen.
All of us have worked so hard on it and we're so passionate about it. And there's, so many people in this cast. Everyone is passionate about Tolkien, about bringing his stories to life. And so I really, really hope so. But the unique thing about our show is that we get to take a period of time where there's not a lot of history in the Second Age, and we get to weave new stories and bring to life for the first time other stories and see characters who are way younger than we've ever seen them before and maneuver them through periods of time which have a lot of gaps, So I just hope people enjoy our choices.
I think it's going to be familiar but different. So there are going to be a lot of elements that will be familiar, whether you're super knowledgeable about Tolkien or you're new to Tolkien, but we're very much our own thing. This is our adaptation. So we're proud and we're ready. We're ready to share.
We are very ready.
I think we're feeling the love, we're feeling the readiness, and I definitely think that it will live up to fans' expectations, but also I think we made something with a lot of heart, also for a new generation of people that perhaps are not connected with that. So it also has the potential to be just the beginning of the relationship to Tolkien for a lot of people.
What can fans expect from the first season?
I think they can expect variety. We're following many different characters from many different worlds of Middle-earth, so you'll never quite know what's coming. Also visually, just the costumes and the sets on this are incredible, and they needed to be. Tolkien's Middle-earth needs to have that kind of ridiculous level of beauty to it.
The drama, there's just so many highs and lows.
It's all the things. It's the battle between good and evil. It's friendship. It's loyalty. It's love. It's fighting the darkness within oneself. It's adventure and also quiet moments of heart and connection. I mean, it's the gamut, really.
Yeah. That's great. I love that too. Jeff Bezos is a fan of the franchise, but also of the books. What did it mean to you to have his support both for the show, but also financially? Because this $462 million budget for the first season, you guys must have had some pretty good craft service.
She had really good outfits.
Yeah.
That's what I was about.
Well, it's interesting because, one thing I've sort of thought on about this is that, you do not want the budget version of this story. You need an incredible amount of resource to really bring some of these ideas to life in the way that we're doing. This is a version that to me is incredibly cinematic. And I know that when we had the pleasure of watching the first couple episodes, I was legitimately blown away because I just thought, I have not seen anything like this on TV or streaming. It doesn't compare to anything else. And I think, we're setting a really high bar, but you need the resources to be able to tell this type of story with this amount of scope. So I think that you're gonna see all of those resources put to very, very good use. And I think Jeff Bezos will be happy as well.
Playing an immortal character isn't easy, especially when someone like Cate Blanchett has, previously brought an older version to life. How did you find your own voice for Galadriel?
There was a quote that I now can't remember exactly, but where Galadriel is speaking about how with wisdom there's a loss of innocence. So it was kind of thinking, how much more innocence would she have now? How much wisdom does she have to gain to become the Galadriel that we all know from Lord of the Rings?
I love that answer. What is your ring of power? What's the one thing in your life that offers that level of importance?
My friends and family, and we shot this in New Zealand, and we were all parted from our friends and family, and it made me realize how much they're a part of all my choices as an actor and all the characters that I make. And now luckily I feel like I have that in New Zealand as well. So yeah, I think it would be relationships, which is what Tolkien kind of writes about a lot.
Music, I think, probably. Yeah. I feel like that feels like putting something on when I listen to music, it feels empowering.
I would say the support of my friends and family, because I always feel that, it's ever present. I have a lot of amazing people that have sort of been on a journey with me. So, I'm sort of representing for them in sort of this show. So that's what I would say.
And I would say my family as well, but as a mum, I have to say, my daughter.
Oh.
Tell us about the importance of the multicultural cast, what that meant to you as actors, but also for the viewers.
What it means to us as actors is we're working with the best people for the job. It means that everyone was seen and the people who were perfect for the characters got the roles. I'm really excited for this to be normalised. Some people, they won't have watched anything to do with Middle-earth before, and this will just seem completely normal to them, and I'm really excited. And it's also meant that there's been just a huge amount of experience and particular knowledge from the cast that can only make things better.
To me, it's a very organic thing. Like, we're depicting this in 2022 and beyond. And I just know, for me personally as a viewer, I want to see the world as I know it. I want to see the world as I aspire for it to be. So it just feels very natural, a natural progression of things. And I feel like, you see a lot of genre where we want to see more inclusivity, more diversity, because people have been hungry for that for a long time. So I'm exceptionally proud that we get to do it here in this world. To me, it just feels like the most natural thing. I would expect no less, to be honest.
For me, it's about the child that I was and the child my daughter is and the children that I work with in my personal life, seeing representations of themselves on screen and seeing that they can aspire to be the heroes of their fantasy books that they love. And I think that's really, really important.
The world of Tolkien has that embedded in itself already. I think people forget when they're looking closely at the work that it is about otherness, and it's about difference, and it's about all those aspects of it coming together. I think conversations have happened socially the last 2 decades that have shifted representation. And today we've arrived at a place where reality is meeting fantasy. It's not the other way around. And we're not stretching this work past what it's been. And it's very important for people to also have a space and see themselves. What we do creates and shifts culture. And as I say all the time, if you can see it, you can imagine it. And if you can imagine, you can create it. And that was the experience that I've had. And it's not only about race, the diversity of cultures that are in this show, gender. We have a Welshman as well that is also the pride of your land. All these things we're bringing into this conversation. And I think a lot of people are going to find themselves in these different heartbeats that we bring to this story.
I heard there is a giant cast group text. Are you all on this text? I heard there are subgroups of this cast text.
Yeah.
Like there's an elf group.
What?
Yeah. What is happening on those group texts?
I mean, I think we kind of just we
Careful.
I know, it's really clever. We organize events, we check in. I think especially in times, like these, and we're doing press and everything together, and so it's nice at the end of the day to go, oh, where is everyone? Let's debrief. Let's chat through everything, and
Who's at the pool?
Who's at the and it was just a constant. It was great to have that throughout filming as well, because we're all from different realms in the series, and so you might go, if we didn't have that group text, we might go for weeks without seeing each other. So it was good to have that so that we could keep in touch.
Also, though, annoyingly, Rob is not on it.
That's true.
And he's made it my responsibility to text him. So having a group text, as we all know by now, is annoying. It's annoying because the amount of pings you get.
Yeah.
And then I have to ping Rob, and then I got to wait for him, and then relay all of that stuff in there. So just do us all a favour and get on that group
Rob.
text. Come on, Rob.
What happens on those chains?
Lots of silly Lord of the Rings memes that we love. Thank you to everyone who makes them. Endless entertainment. And it's really nice to have that, because lots of the cast are dotted around the world. Like there's a Canadian, Dylan Smith, in it, who we miss a lot. And so it's lovely to be able to stay in contact, because we all got very close.
I want to know, is there a cast text group chain? How many people are on it, and who is the most active on this chain?
Well, there is one for all of us, and then there's also, we have one, the Halfwoods, and on that chain, the person who is never active on it is Markella Kavenagh. ever. Maybe once in a while she'll go, yeah.
Like we also have a Númenorian chain. It hasn't been as active of late, but we've got a few chains. Sub chains on chains on chains. But we're very communicative as a group. There really is a true family dynamic because we've had such an intensive, heightened experience both within the production and just, being part of this for the last couple years. So it's nice to know that you're part of a fellowship and we've all had this very unique experience. Yeah, there's a lot of love in this group for sure.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.